What's up, YouTube? Team Movies here with It Chapter 2 here this week. Since it is a horror film about a very creepy clown, I decided to just go ahead and do my top 10 favorite creepy clown movies. Now, these movies are the reason why lots of people don't even go to circus. It's very much the reason why lots of people are afraid of clowns and whatnot. So, with that being said, here is my top 10 favorite creepy clown movies. Alright. Coming in at number 10 is going to be a horror film called Killjoys. Now, in this film, it's where this girl, like, it's pretty much about this young man's girl who he pretty much loves is like stolen away by a thuggish gang member, and so he pretty much uses the force of evil to bring to life Killjoy, played by Angel Vargas, who's pretty much a clown doll that he used to own as a child. And so, like, the young man ends up becoming a kill before the spell can fully take effect. But Killjoy pretty much soon comes to life and, like, wreak havoc. Pretty much horrible, wreak havoc by horrible revenge on the people who pretty much killed the masters. So, the killer is pretty much killing those biker guys and trying to save the girl. I mean, this is one of the rare films where the lead character actually, ends up dying. It is one gory film fest. I mean, they did do a few sequels as well, which the sequels are not that good. But the first Killjoys is actually loads of fun. You know the car- the clown of Killjoy is so darn creepy. I mean, he looks like Ronald McDonald on crack. That's what he literally looks like. And yeah, this has some really gore fest in it. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen Killjoys yet, I'm not going to go into too much details because I still don't know if we haven't seen the movie yet. But yeah, go check out Killjoys. It's a real creep fest. I mean, if you really want to look at Killjoys, is also kind of like Chucky if Chucky was a clown instead. That's what other character Killjoy is similar to. He's similar to Chucky, but if Chucky was a clown instead of a dog. So anyway. Alright, coming in at number 9 is Gacy. Now, this film is creepy. Now, the clown in this is creepy because he's based on a real-life serial killer. And that serial killer is, of course, named John Wayne Gacy. Now, John Wayne Gacy was one sick dude. He actually, dresses up as clowns, and he pretty much ends up raping and killing young boys, and he put his victims in like his basement or and he was a real sicko. Probably one of the most sickest serial killers there is. And John Wayne Gacy here was played by Mark Houghton, who I thought did a great job in this. You also had Adam Baldwin as pretty much Gacy's abusive father. I thought Adam Baldwin was pretty good here. Yeah, Gacy, the character John Wayne Gacy is just one sicko. I mean, what he did to those what he did to those young guys was just horrible. I mean, he killed mainly kids and young teenagers, and he's one he was one sicko. And this movie really showed pretty much of who he was and all that. And I thought Mark Holton, I thought he really nailed it as John Wayne Gacy. They made like the dude really looked so much like John Wayne Gacy. Like if you Google Mark Holton and you Google John Wayne Gacy face, like side by side, they really literally look alike. And I mean, of course, John Wayne Gacy, when he did his crimes, he dressed up as a clown costume, and he was real creepy at best. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen the John Wayne Gacy movie Gacy, do yourself a favor, check it out. It's a really interesting serial killer film. And also, there was actually another interesting horror film called Dahmer vs. Gacy, where it features Jeffrey Dahmer facing off against John Wayne Gacy. It's not that great of a film, but it's actually a guilty pleasure horror film of mine. Yeah, it's one that's a weird film, but as for the film Gacy, it's really interesting. Like, it's not really a film you can really watch over and over again because they do show some of the horrific crimes that John Wayne Gacy was known for. But yeah, Gacy was definitely sicko. All right, coming in at number 8 is going to be Clown House. Now, it's where these three brothers, played by Nathan Forrest, winners Brian McHugh and a very young Sam Rockwell, who are trapped in a old house, and and in it there's like three escape killers who are targeting them, and they're wearing clown costumes. I mean, the film now it's a really good film, but it's a little awkward to watch because of the director involved. Now, if you guys don't know who directed this, Clown House was directed by this director named Victor Salva, who also gave us the Jeepers Creepers movies. Now, his films are actually pretty decent. I quite like Jeepers Creepers 1, 3. I also quite like Clown House. But the director, Victor Salva is a one sick dude. Like, he actually, the director of Victor Salva was, convicted of actually molesting teenage boys. So, I mean, it's a little awkward to really talk about any films that, he's involved with. But it's film despite the sick stuff that this guy's done. Most of his films are okay, and I quite dug Clown House. It's pretty gory. It's a bloody film fest. I mean, the movie of course got released in the early 1980s. No, actually, it got released in late 1980s. My bad. But it's a really creepy flick. I mean, those clowns. I mean, those clowns were not cool clowns. They're pretty much some really creepy clowns there. But if you guys haven't seen Clown House, despite everything with Victor Salva, or if you guys still haven't seen Clown House, I'll say still give the film a shot, despite Victor Salva's personal life. But yeah, Clown House is a really interesting flick. Alright, coming in at number 7 is going to be a horror film called Clown. Now, it's where this dad, played by this actor named Andy Powers, who pretty much dresses up as a clown for his son's birthday. But there's something weird about the clown costume is that it won't come off, and because he's wearing the clown costume, there's like a interesting, like a crazy side effect that has him pretty much killing kids. This is, I mean, you never see horror movies where this is a rare horror film where kids actually get killed. If you guys ever seen any horror films, kids rarely get killed in any films, in any horror films that is. But this is one of the rare occasions. And Clown was produced by Eli Roth, and not to mention the film was also directed by the guy who directed I don't remember. Yeah, the guy who directed this also directed Spider-Man Spider-Man Homecoming and Far From Home. So yeah, it's kind of oh yeah, John Watts, that's the guy's name. Why did I freeze up on John Watts' name? Anyway. But yeah, John Watts, of course, he directed the Kevin Bacon movie Cop Car, and he did Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home. So it's kind of weird to see John Watts, before he did Spider-Man, directing a horror film like Clown. But hey, you gotta start from somewhere, and Clown is one, like the Clown costume is one. It's really creepy at its best. And Andy Paris, I mean, he literally goes to like a Chuck E. Cheese like place and literally terrorizes young kids there. I mean, he's also like like a Chucky if he was a clown, because or Chucky is another character he's trying to kill a kid. But yeah, Clown is gruesome. It's very grisly, and yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Clown yet, give that one a go. It's a real interesting one. Alright, coming in at number 6 is going to be the film Drive-Thru. Now, the film takes place in Blanca Con, California, and it's pretty much about this high school student named Mackenzie Carpenter, played by Leighton Meester, from Gossip Girl fame, who is like celebrating her graduation in high school with her boyfriend Fisher Kent, as well as her classmates. And so she ends up receiving messages about her close friends, and they are also being her and her friends are pretty much being terrorized by these clowns who pretty much who calls himself Horny the Clown. That's certainly the clown's actual name. And they're like in a fast food and a fast food restaurant, trying to get away from the killers. I mean, Drive Thru was, I believe it went straight to DVD if I'm not mistaken. But it's creepy. It's pretty gory. Those clowns are really some really creep fesses. You also had another Gossip Girl alum, Penn Badgley was also in this too, so that's pretty cool there. And those clowns, like, they would not stop at nothing to pretty much to kill all these young folks. And yeah, Drive Thru it's something because you don't really see many horror movies that takes place during a fast food place, and yeah, this makes people not want to go to a fast food restaurant anymore. No, not fast food. A drive-thru, I should say. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen Drive-Thru, it's really interesting. All right, coming in at number 5 is a horror film called Terrifier. Now, the film is actually based on a character from the cult anthology film All Hallows Eve, which pretty much is pretty much an 80s slasher throwback that takes place on Halloween night. And it's pretty much about this clown named Art the Clown, who pretty much terrorizes these two girls and anyone who gets in his way. And he does some real, he does some really gruesome killing in this film. I mean, yeah, Terrifier the Clown is, not Art the Clown is probably the creepiest clown you ever want to see. I mean, he's not really the clown that wears like those that wears a red nose and all. He like his face is all black. I mean, uh, he wears like a black suit and all. He's a really creepy character, and he kills. Oh boy, he kills so many people in this. I mean, from a pizza delivery guy to a few other folks. I mean, I'm not going to spoil any of the killing in this, but because I don't know who still haven't seen Terrifier yet. But man, if you guys haven't seen Terrifier, it's one creepy clown flick, and there's also talks about a sequel in the works, which I'll be down to see a sequel. I mean, Terrifier it's a creep fest, and yeah, go check out Terrifier if you haven't seen that. All right, coming in at number 4 is going to be a horror film called Stitches. Now, Stitches is about this clumsy, unfunny clown named Richard Stitches Grinda, who goes to a birthday party of these kids and all, and a prank and the kids' prank goes horribly wrong, where they end up killing Stitches. Then, like years later, on the anniversary of Stitches' death, he pretty much comes back from the dead to take revenge on the kids who murdered him, who are now teenagers and all. And my God, Stitches is one. It is probably the goriest film on this list. I'm not gonna go to many details of the gore fest, but it is pretty gory. And I mean, the kids, I guess you could say they did sort of deserve it, because lots of characters in this are kind of douchey, and they're not really lots of the characters in this are not likable. So I guess they do deserve what came to them. But I mean, this is of course a horror flick about revenge, and Stitches he's a crazy nutcase clown. I mean, the way he kills his victims in this are, oh man, they're so violent. I mean, this is probably, like I said, this is the most goriest, violent horror film on this list. And yeah, if you guys never seen the movie Stitches yet, I'll be down to see a sequel, by the way. But if you guys had not seen Stitches, like I actually don't even know any of the actors involved in this either. I mean, I know a lot. Like, it is actually a British horror film, which we don't get so much of British slasher films, by the way. I'll let you see more British-based slasher films. But anyway, yeah, if you guys haven't seen Stitches, it's one creep fest, and yeah, like I said, it is gory, and I think you'll enjoy Stitches if you're a fan of those type of stuff. All right, now coming in at number 3, it's pretty much another guilty pleasure of mine. That's going to Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now these, of course, are killer clowns who come down from space and terrorize these pretty much these group of teenagers and all, and it's pretty much like an 80s B movie. Yo, I gotta do my top 10 favorite B horror movies. There's some really great B horror movies out there. But Killer Clowns from Outer Space, it's a it's a really guilty pleasure. It's an 80s. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a 80s horror gem. I'm still hoping we'll see another one in the near future, but I don't know if that will ever happen. I mean, most of these actors are very well unknown. Like, I never really heard of any of these actors. I haven't really seen any of these actors in other stuff since. But yeah, I mean, who knew that a horror film about clowns who kill people from outer space could work so well? And yeah, if you guys never seen this 80s B movie gem, go check that one out. It's a really great one. All right. Now, number 2, I wasn't really sure to really add this to my list because it's technically not a movie, it's more of a miniseries. But if you actually watch it back, them both at the same time, it could actually feel like a movie, so I'm still going to count this in my list. But my number 2 favorite is going to be... Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, my number 2 favorite is going to be Tom Lee Wallace's horror miniseries, The Original It, starring Tim Curry as the Great Pennywise. I mean, Pennywise, I really quite like the remake of Pennywise, Bill Skarsgård, but I quite like Tim Curry's portrayal. Like, he was really menacing as that role, and this creep. Like, honestly, you couldn't really get away with any gory stuff in this. Anyway, obviously you couldn't get away with gory stuff in this because it was a TV movie, and the miniseries is of course based on a book by Stephen King, and it's one of the terrifying TV miniseries I've ever seen. I mean, of course, you got Pennywise the clown who are terrorizing the loser clubs, who are a group of a couple of kids, and then years later he terrorizes them once again when they're adults. And the adult version is of course played by one of the actors who played the original Loser Club. Older actor is John Ritter, so that was pretty cool seeing John Ritter in a horror film like this. You also had a very young Seth Green who played one of the younger Loser Club. Now, of course, the character was Richie, so there's that. It has it has a group of who's actors, and it's despite it being a miniseries, the original It is still one creepy miniseries. And yeah, if you guys haven't seen the original It, give that one a go. But my number 1 favorite creepy clown movie of all time, I put down the miniseries, but I think the best one out of all of them is, of course, once again Pennywise, and it's a very recent one, and we got the sequel coming out this week. My number 1 favorite creepy clown movie of all time is going to be the 2017 remake of it. Now, Tim Curry, he'll always go down as really great Pennywise, but man, what Bill Skarsgård did as the role of Pennywise, like, I probably prefer, I probably prefer Bill Skarsgård's portrayal slightly more. I mean, what Andy Muschietti did with the remake of it was just outstanding. I mean, the young actors in this, I thought they all really had great chemistry. Like you had Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things fame. You had Jaden Lieberher, who I think goes by Martella now or something like that. He was great. Sophia Lillis as Beverly was great casting. I really quite love the remake so much, and I saw the remake about twice when it got released, and I cannot wait to see the sequel. The sequel looks so darn good. But yeah, if you guys haven't really seen the remake of it yet, directed by Andy Muschietti and all, give the remake a shot. I think you'll actually like the remake, and it is actually more gorier than the TV one. But from what I heard, the remake is not remake. The sequel is actually more gorier. So, how gory is the sequel? I'll of course know that once I see it on Friday. But that's pretty much it. Let me do the quick rundown. 10. Oh wait. Okay. All right. 10. Killjoy. 9. Gacy. 8. Clown House. 7. Clown. 6. Drive Thru. 5. Terrifier. 4. Stitches. 3. Killer Clowns from Outer Space. 2. The Tim Curry miniseries of it. 1. The 2017 remake of it. Now, there are loads of other creepy clown movies around there. Let me pull up the list. Now, if I was to do best clown movies, period, I probably would have added The Dark Knight because Joker could consider it as a creepy clown, but it's not really a horror film, so I'm only adding the horror films in my list. So that's only why the Joker's not in my list. So, all right. All Hallows Eve, which is actually a really good horror and film. Like, if you guys haven't seen All Hallows Eve, it's really creepy. 100 Tears, Scary or Die is actually pretty creepy. Poltergeist, I mean, there is a creepy clown Poltergeist, so I probably could have had that one. There's Amusement, Behind the Sightings, the Killjoy sequels, um, Sloppy the Psychotic. I never really seen that one. There's Final Draft, Fear of Clowns. I mean, some interesting creepy clowns around there. Remember Carnival of Souls? Yeah, there's that. Funland. Puppet Show, Urban Massacre. I mean, Mr. Jingles. Boy, these are the reason why lots of people are afraid of clowns. But let me go ahead and leave it to you guys. Like, what are some of your favorite creepy clown movies of all time? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is C Movies signing off.